Murray Boyles from the University of South Carolina.
First, a hug now with Chloe Kitts, his girlfriend and South Carolina star.
Good afternoon to you gentlemen and a few of you ladies that may be listening. This is Spiritual Art of War, back at it again with another episode. And this time we're going to talk about something that is always a controversial topic, which is the topic of interracial dating. And interracial dating is a very complex subject, in part due to the history of the world, especially in the last, you could say, 500 years, okay? Because the fact is that the concept of race is something that was changed by those that came into power, particularly the European powers. And because of their definition of race, and then the policy making that came behind that definition, which also includes the socialization of social hierarchy in regards to racial caste systems and hierarchy, then this we are in today in the modern world, you cannot discount those particular things in regards to even today in 2025. All of that has an impact on how race is viewed, okay, and how marriage and interracial relationships are viewed as well, okay, because like it or not, anybody who wants to deny that racism no longer exists is actually not even, they're not even willfully ignorant, they're flat out lying, okay, because they know themselves that what they perceive to be race or racial stereotyping is something that's going to impact the way that they deal with people. It's just the reality. And it's very funny because people think that it's only adults that will engage in racism, but it's kids. Young kids, they're taught this by adults. How do you expect that kids are socialized except by adults? Kids are not living on their own, creating their own social systems, okay? So they're getting that stuff from the adults in their community and in their families, right? So we have to just call it what it is, That's why I really don't waste my time talking with people that try and act as if they don't, they have no way of, they don't look at color when they say stuff like they don't look at color and this, that, and the other. No, you do look at color because you have eyes, okay? Even if you were colorblind, you can at least see different shades of people. You can definitely see people's facial characteristics and their hair texture. You can definitely see those. And in a world that we're in, and just in general, as a human being, you have to have some ability to recognize differences. Because if you go to work, if you have a coworker that you're friends with, they're gonna look a certain type of way. That's how you recognize them. Okay. If you're told to go to a particular, let's say you go to a dealership and you want to speak with somebody that's in finance about your finance options, they'll tell you, they might describe to you how the person looks. Okay. They'll say, yeah, go down the office and the guy that looks like this, this is the person you want to talk to about that. So, so that's just what it is. So this is actually a topic that I can go so many layers in. And, let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any questions about a particular area of interracial dating and relationships that you want me to talk about, I'll definitely go into it, because this is something that, I have always thought about, growing up in different situations. And I actually believe that I have a way deeper insight into this subject, at least on an anecdotal level, than most people have. I think most people that come and talk about this subject, they really talk from a very, very big stereotype angle. Most people in America have a limited interaction with other races of people. I would say most Americans might have interaction with at least one other quote unquote race of people or one other culture of people, but to have multiple, like for me, I have a United Nations level of interaction with people from the time I was a kid into my adulthood, in part based off of where I grew up and also the schools I attended and the places that I've worked and the places that I've traveled. Okay, so let's just simplify and talk about one particular area, which is going to be the whole issue of athletics and why you see so many black athletes with other races of women, particularly white women. And it's very easy to understand because I have, seen how it is on the college campuses. Okay, I went to a big time power conference school in the South. And when I'm talking about big time, I'm talking about when I was there, this particular school was top 5 in pretty much all the sports categories. It's about swimming, baseball, basketball, track, and football. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so I'm talking about a big time school. Okay, we're probably talking about the school that probably makes the most money on athletics in the country. You know what I'm saying? And this is like verified as well in regards to like money generating. So I saw that stuff in the early 2000s, and I don't think much has changed even until now. Now, what is one of the things that I noticed? Now, I went to a very mixed up high school as well, so I saw different dynamics. I think high school has a little bit of difference because in high school, if you grow up with someone, that's going to be a whole different ball game in regards to like interracial dating. I don't think it's the same. I don't think it has the same impact on as it does on the college level, and the professional level. But what I want to talk about is about the college athletes the black college athletes who end up with white women or non-black women. Okay, now here's the thing on a demographic level. When you're talking about a power conference school, the largest part of the student body is going to be white students. Okay, now power conference schools are the ones that recruit and attract the top talent in regards to college athletes. This is just what it is. Okay, this also has to do with the legacy of racism in regards to separate but equal. Back in the day when they had the HBCUs, that's why they're called HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities. So the funding, which came from the conferences, the TV deals, was always more to the advantage of these PWIs, predominantly white institutions. So that legacy of that carried into integration of those collegiate sports. A lot of people don't even know that if you go back into the late 60s, a lot of big schools did not have black athletes. Okay? A lot did not have black athletes. I want to say the last time a all-white college basketball team, meaning a basketball team at the collegiate level that played in the national championship, that was the University of Kentucky. I want to say Pat Riley, or one of these famous NBA coaches, was actually part of that team. Back then, with I think Adolph Ruth, I think is his name. Then the last all-white college football team to play in a national championship game was the University of Texas at Austin, the Longhorns. Okay, I think they actually won the last championship for an all-white team in I want to say it was 1969 season, I believe. So now imagine it's the late 1960s, 1970s, and now you have these black high school athletes that are getting recruited to go to these schools. So now they get on campus. You look at the social hierarchy on a college campus, the athletes or the jocks are at the very top, probably followed by frat boys. And I've seen it, and I think anybody who's been to these colleges would definitely agree that what I'm saying is true, that when it comes to the social hierarchy on a college campus, the hierarchy on a college campus, your collegiate athletes will be number one as far as the males. Number two will be the frat guys. So now imagine they're going to these campuses away from home, away from people that they grew up with, and now you're thrusted into this new setting, and now you have different options. Okay? And then especially if you look at, nowadays, It's probably even more prominent that they would be more likely to date out probably in the last, I say, 25 years, depending on the region. West Coast, definitely more than down south, at least back then. But now you can go to the University of Alabama, University of Mississippi, you know what I'm saying? University of Arkansas, and you'll see no problem on the campus with black athletes dating the white girls on the campus. I have heard white boys complain about it when I was in college, but they ain't gonna do a dang thing about it. Because last thing you want is, you don't want Jamarcus Henderson. You don't want to you don't want to confront him directly because you already know what will happen to you. Okay? So they see them guys on campus, man. They see them big dudes walking around on campus in their athletic gear, you know what I'm saying, in their school warm-ups. They know that that's not something to play with. You don't want to rumble with that. So a lot of times they know what it is. Plus, a lot of them that understand why these guys come to some of these schools, they understand that part of it is they got the females on the campus. So I would say a lot of them, by now, especially in the last 20 years, a lot of white male students kind of understand it's part of the environment. And there's more than enough white girls and girls of other races for a white guy to deal with on those campuses. Trust me. They're not hurting on that level. You know what I'm saying? So they still got more than enough that they can get with. 100 football players can't smash 25,000 girls, man. It's just not happening. It's just not feasibly possible for those guys to have enough time to deal with every single woman on the campus. So when you look at it, it's the environment. It's going to be the environment and how it's set up, and it's going to allow for more in regards to the ratio of black student athletes and white females on the campus. It's ridiculous. Like the numbers, the ratio is insane, and it's in the favor of the athletes, the black athletes, that they're going to get something there, and they're probably going to meet a girl that they're going to take a liking to. It's just going to be what it is. It's human nature. They're going to take a liking to a particular woman that they're going to connect with, and that they might end up taking to that, NBA or NFL draft. And that's what's happening. Okay? So I'm going to go into a part 2 after this and go into what examples I've seen on campus to kind of give you an idea of how these things happen. Okay? So check the next episode on this subject, and I'll go a little bit deeper on the college athlete, with the Beckys.